All right, you may not know it by listening to it, but this is Motormouth Radio, Long Island's only automotive radio talk show.
Well, now they do after they hear you.
That's right. You're live with Ray Guarino, Joe D, Jack D, and Laura D in the studio, and you wouldn't know it maybe by listening to it unless you were a real aficionado, but that's Leonard Skinner doing truck driving, man, and that was for you, Jack. That's your intro today because you brought your beautiful Chevy truck down here to be diagnosed in the parking lot.
Yes, I got a thumbs up on the intro music over the air here.
Oh, very good.
Yes, the clouds like the intro.
Happy to hear the clouds are happy.
Good.
So this is one of those shows, Joe, that kind of fell together due to like a failure issue, and not ours for a change.
That's funny. That's the first time this week I haven't been called a failure.
I should say before we get started, you can call and get in on this because there's a lot of questions people are going to have. They can call 516-572-7440, and you can be live with us, with Joe, with Jack, with Laura, and you can learn all about the stuff we're going to talk about, which comes down to Jack's truck. Jack, tell us about this truck. It's a resto mod, I guess you would call it, right?
Yes, it's a 98 S-10 pickup with a 98 LS1 Corvette engine in it. Built by myself, totally. I had the engine. I bought the engine all apart. I had it rebuilt by S&K. Mm-hmm. I did the heads myself, and I had the wiring harness and computer program done by Current Performance in Florida.
Okay.
I gave them all the information, and they sent me a plug-and-play system.
Right.
No problem. Going in, everything worked great. It took me 2 months from the time I started to the time I finished to get the truck running.
How long ago was that you built the truck?
In 2010.
Okay.
So it's been out on the road now for just about 7 years.
That's correct.
Nice. And you drive it quite a bit?
All the time, as much as I can.
Excellent.
It is a very drivable truck. Just to look at it, you know that it's a drivable vehicle because it's, the fit and finish, the interior looks comfortable. Everything about it says, let's go.
When I walked into it, walked up to it in the parking lot, I was very impressed because a lot of these things tend to be rat wagons. But obviously, you missed that memo, Jack.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's
good. That's what we like to see. As a matter of fact, until you hear it start, you're not quite sure what's under the hood, which is even better.
Now, as I commented when I saw you, I said, "Boy, the truck looks different today." Usually, it has two different personas to its look.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Well, I have the car show persona, which turns out to be Dale Earnhardt's number 3 pickup truck with all the decals, all magnets, the number 3, everything on there that was in 98.
Right.
Right, and it's pretty unassuming right now. I mean, don't get me wrong. You probably wouldn't mix that up with another one in a parking lot.
Now, nice and subdued black wheels. Yep. I like the silver stripes on the hood, which is always nice. When it's decaled out, do you get any special attention from, law authority on the road? Do they want to, pace you to see if you're going to try and do Dale Earnhardt speeds? Or
to be honest with you, I try to keep it calm on the roads.
Yeah.
Yes, because it sticks out quite a bit with all the decals on it.
Right. There's I know a few guys have Monte Carlos that are done in Earnhardt theme. So, and everybody treats that different. Like guys who build replica cop cars and stuff like that. Everybody has their own idea for what they think they're going to do or what they want to do. And it's good that you fly under the radar. That's the way it should be.
Oh, definitely. It's nice to have that quote-unquote sleeper, but every once in a while, it's just nice to let people know what you got going on.
Yes.
Right. So, why did you come visit us today?
Well, I was having issues with the truck.
Issues.
Yeah, computer issues and the diagnostic codes. I had none. And then when I got the 2, it was threw me a curveball. I took my wife on a computer, and she went to town trying to find out what all this meant.
Yeah.
And she came up with some, and I changed the PCV lines. I changed the plugs. I did almost everything I can do without a code. And here I am today, finding out some sort of information.
We're going to see if we can get to the bottom of some of this. And that's one of the things we talk about when you build a resto mod car and you mix parts. You got to make them all play nice together. That's Joe's job. My job is to slide the slidey thing.
Push that button.
Push this button and say, hi, you're on with the Motor Mouths.
Hey, good morning, Ray. Good morning, Joe.
Hey,
what's up, Bronx?
What's happening?
Hey, how's it going today?
All right.
It sounds like a pretty truck your buddy has over there.
It is beautiful, yes.
You should get a picture of that sticking on the side.
They're all over the place. That's all you see at most of the car shows. I would say 2 out of every 3 is a pickup, going back from the 30s up until the early 2000s, and one is more spectacular than the other. So I learned a new appreciation coming from the Bronx, where you don't see pickups, and out here I say, wow, what these guys could do with these trucks are amazing.
Yeah.
Good luck with it. You know? But I got a question for you, and I did a little research, and it's been a problem. Vapor lock.
Okay.
Is that on you is that on you or on a car, Brock?
I got vapor lock years ago. You know, that's why I take X-Lax.
That's why I'm asking. Yeah.
Well, I do some research on it, you know, and out here with the dry heat and everything and the altitude, it's a really bad problem for most of the cars, the carbureted cars, and especially with the fuels that we have, as you know. They're just crappy. So I started to look and see if there's any kind of additives that some guys are using, you know, to help prevent it besides the phenolic, Bakelite, spacer block, insulating the fuel lines, that kind of thing. So one guy came up with, and I don't know if you ever heard of this, putting clothespins, wooden clothespins along
That's
the
as
fuel
old
line.
as you. What, are you kidding me?
Right? No? Can I make this up? Right?
I would think not.
He swore is that using a pine clothespin, because wood helps absorb heat, as you know. You know, it's a conductor of heat. Right? That it helps alleviate the problem of fuel vapor lock when the cars are running hot. So what I'm going to try, and I'll let you know how it works out, is I'm going to build wood block channels. You know, take a 2x2, center drill it, cut it in half, and then make a rail around the front of the engine. I have the Chevy Corvette. And the Ford I had no problem with. It's just a Corvette. And then reroute the line away from the radiator hose, the little radiator hose, and along side of the block, and see how it works. Have you heard anything along those lines ever in your travels?
Vapor lock around here is not really an issue, as you probably remember.
You know, I'll tell you.
I know.
Well, I'll tell you what I did do, Brock, on my Pontiac, since they run a little hot anyway, and I was having a problem with a hot start issue, which is kind of Pontiac specific, but it wasn't starter related. I knew it was fuel related.
Right.
And what I did was I did use heat spacers between the carburetors and the intake, but I didn't use phenolic. I did some research, and they said wood was the best insulator, and the stuff I bought, they're beautiful. It's laminated. They're a piece of course, I had to buy 2 of them now because I have 2 4-barrels on the car. So it was a little more expensive, but you know what? Solved the problem.
Yeah.
Right. I did that because I got that hood clearance. So I went over to, I got, Summit Racing down the block there. And they make, it's not a phenolic, it's not a Bakelite. It's probably an infusion of a wood fiber in a plastic. It's something new.
Okay.
And they swore by it.
Dentures?
I put 3/4 inch. That was the biggest I could put in. There's a space between the carburetor and the intake.
Okay.
And it really hasn't solved the problem.
All right.
Then I raised the fuel line as high up off the manifold possible, try to get it away, but still running, and I put an electric fuel pump in, which is could help alleviate the fumes, you know, push it through by partially opening the throttle. But it's still a hard, hot start.
How about a cool can? You know?
Yeah, but, you know, out here at 100-degree heat, no humidity, and altitude, it's not going to last long. You know, the old racing days, you know, make the cool can, throw ice in it, and that kind of thing. It's just not practical for stop-and-go driving, you know, when you're using the car on a daily basis.
When did this start happening, Bron?
Oh, it's been going on since I moved out here. It's
okay.
been a problem. And a lot of guys I talk to, they all have the same problem, and nobody really had an answer. You know, now we've been hit with this heat wave every day, 100 freaking degrees out here. I feel like I'm in a desert, you know?
Well, duh.
Yeah, I am in the desert.
Yeah.
Oh, good. You turned the GPS on. Excellent.
I don't know if you heard anything about
It showed
the
10.
wooden clothespins. It kind of comes to my attention,
Hey,
so I'm going to give it a try. And if you come up with any alternatives or any, you know, out-of-the-way craziness, you know, let me know.
What carburetor are you running? You running is that a Holly?
I'm
or is
running
that
pure stock. A Holly, what am I running? A Holly 550. It's a 327, 300, no work done to it.
Right.
Pure stock, factory, matching number motor. You know, it's a purist.
The bowls are going empty on you?
No, they're just vapor. You know.
Okay, no, I'm just saying. But once you light the car up, it's okay. It never stalls out.
Oh yeah. As soon as I turn the key on, I let the fuel pump run 2 or 3 seconds, and boom! As soon as you hit the key, it starts right up.
Okay,
so no crank, no whine, no nothing, and I'm still running points on the damn thing. I tried putting in a high ignition coil, you know, high energy coil. Then I was thinking about going with the octane boost, and what I read is that it doesn't really help because of the freaking ethanol that they put in the gas. So it has a lower boiling point, the fuel, and that's the primary
that is
cause
your
of the
vapor lock issue right there, is the boiling point.
Right.
Yeah, that's what it is. So the idea is to cool that boiling point down, because as you know, when a vehicle sits, the temperature actually rises. So hopefully the
Right.
wood block will absorb enough heat where I won't get that vapor lock issue with the hard start hot. You know?
So you run the pump for 2 or 3 seconds before you fire the car up, and it seems to be okay?
Yeah. Yeah, and I tried, especially when it's hot, I let it run a little bit longer to try to clear the lines, because the pump's going to
Right,
push
yeah.
it. So,
You got bubbles in there. You got gas. You got to push them out.
yeah, you got to push them out, exactly, right? And it still become a hard start. And eventually, it fires up,
Right.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get it back where you hit the key like the old days, and it starts. I don't care what kind of horsepower.
Well, just send
You
the
hit
car back
key,
here to
it
me.
starts.
It'll be fine over here.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Well, Brock,
Yeah,
keep us
rub it in. Be a nice guy. Rub it in.
keep us abreast of that situation, because it's something that we don't really see as much here. You definitely have higher heat than us, but it's something that other people could apply. So
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So if anything comes up, if any of the listeners are out there and they came up with a way of dealing with this or another crazy idea, I'm going to try the wood. I have nothing to lose at this point.
No,
I got the
no.
time to do it. See how that pans out at this point. So, keep your ears open. If anything happens, give me a gel, as they say.
you got it.
Okay.
All right, Brock.
Okay.
You got it.
All right, guys, listen to the show. Good luck with that pickup truck. I'd love to see pictures of it sometime.
Thank you, yes.
I'll talk to you guys real soon.
You got it,
Great
Brock.
week.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, guys.
Okay.
Bye.
Take care.
Was Brock from the balmy state of Nevada. That's
Yeah,
where he's
but-
residing. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess they'll never be able to complain about cold.
No, not at all. Not at all. But that's funny that just one car does that. One of his older cars. The newer cars aren't doing it. So it's it is an isolated incident, and
It's a Corvette. They always have high underhood temperatures, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? But running the pump for 2 or 3 seconds, I mean, is he in that much of a rush?
yeah, right.
The other thing that comes to mind, off the top of my head, there was some of the big block cars. They used to have that inline fuel filter with the extra return line on it.
My Camaro had one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That might be something to consider plumbing in, although it's not stuck.
There's nothing to return to at that point.
You have to run a return line.
Right. And I mean, he put an aftermarket fuel pump in, so he is willing to deviate a little. So
Yeah, we'll just have to camouflage it.
yeah,
That just dawned on me after you hung up, Bronx. So it may be something to mull over there.
Well, I tell you what, Joe, let us take our first break, and we will reset the clock a little bit. We'll come back and talk more about this cool stuff, because we didn't even touch the surf yet. We didn't even scratch it yet, so we're gonna do that. For Joe D, Jack D, Joe D, Laura D, we got all the D's in here today. Ray Guarino, Motormouth Radio. You can catch us on iHeartRadio, Performance Motorsports Network, or MotorMouthRadio.com. You'll find about a year and a half worth of shows up there. And this one should be up there probably by tomorrow or sometime. And again, 516-572-7440. Keep it where you got it. We'll be back in a minute.
Hi, I'm Rob Leonard. Join me for the Free-For-All every Sunday, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. The Free-For-All is a free-form mix of rock and roll. If you remember, rock radio used to mix it up, but now they just play Hotel California every 18 hours. It's not a law, but they're working on it. So join me for the Free-For-All every Sunday, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Replays every Saturday morning, 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. right here on 90.3 WHPC, the voice of Nassau Community College, streaming at ncc.edu/WHPC.
Flintstones, meet the Flintstones, they're the modern Stories family. From the town of Bedrock, they're a page right out of history. Let's ride with the family down the street, through the courtesy of friends to meet. When you're with the Flintstones, have a yabba dabba do time, a dabba do time, we'll have a gay old time.
Come on, baby. What do you say? Just don't be afraid.
All right, we're doing a little tribute to Rob Leonard there with his promo and his sounder from earlier. I just had to reuse it because I thought it was so cool. Motormouth Radio, Ray Guarino, all the D's, Joe, Jack, and Laura in the studio. We're talking about Jack's truck today, the LS-powered S-10. And let's get back into it a little bit, guys. What was what led to you getting in touch with me, Jack, was some computer codes you had.
Yes. And it drove me crazy because the codes I seen and I cleared them, it would still run crazy. I tried everything, no codes, except when I drove it for a little while. And when the codes came up, I had no idea what they meant. So
There's a lot of them.
So you went to the source to find those codes, which was
Me.
Laura.
I like to think of myself as the